Yay Media Group.
When I was like in high school, I remember my senior year, I wore the exact same pair of black parachute pants and a white V-neck every single day.
You wear a white V-neck to school?
A white V-neck every single day.
Why?
Or a white T-shirt. I don't know, V-neck or whatever. Maybe I'm thinking V-neck because I used to wear white. I used to wear white V-necks. I used to wear white V-necks to work every day.
Hey guys, episode 104.
Just so everybody knows out there, we are filming this Wednesday, January 8th. And this will be out obviously Monday, which you're listening to right now. But I do want to give, I've been watching the news this morning and talking to some friends back in LA. Wow. The fires out there. Hopefully when you're listening to this, it's under control. But we have a lot of friends right up in the Brentwood area. We have one friend that we were talking to last night. We were FaceTiming. You could see the flames over the house. We have a couple people in the marina. We have another person in Santa Monica. So we have friends all over that area. The fire is specifically in Pacific Palisades and Malibu. The winds are supposed to be picking up even more today.
I didn't even know winds there, because we were talking to our friend and he was saying that they were saying winds could get up to 80 miles an hour. And I don't ever remember living there and winds getting really any.
I don't remember that.
I know here in Colorado.
Either, but there's those Santa Ana winds that come in like this time of year. I don't remember it whipping 100 miles an hour.
I don't either.
But fire and wind like that could be very devastating. So I hope that our friends stay safe. Obviously, the effort to get everybody out of there wasn't even to put the fire out at this point. It was to get everybody out of there. So I don't even know the count or death toll or, a lot of people lost a lot of stuff. That's a really affluent neighborhood and something we're familiar with. So a lot of places that we probably stopped at,
right before we moved to come here to Colorado, Lawson was just a baby and we were at the high school. Is it Pacific Palisades High School? It burned down.
Yeah.
We were there watching fireworks.
Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm. That's right. And then we went for our engagement dinner, Mastro's on the beach. Our buddy said it burnt down. I haven't seen official news of that yet.
Yeah, but our friend said it did burn down. Yeah.
And I'm wondering if like the Brentwood Market, where we used to go to all the time, I wonder if that's safe.
I don't think it's that far.
It's not far from the Pacific Palisades.
No, it's not far from it, but I don't think it's gotten that far.
That far up,
yeah.
You mean? Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways, I just want to give a shout out. I hate the word thoughts and prayers because it doesn't do anything, but thoughts and prayers, like to people out there, because I hope it's under control when you're listening to it right now, because those winds and that type of fire are very devastating. And California, man, it's apocalyptic,
it keeps getting... it's
some
like
weird stuff.
Yeah.
Some weird stuff.
And then after COVID, it kind of went down a little bit, but yeah. Prayers for everybody. And then also since we're talking about devastating stuff, and I know this happened in the New Year's, was what happened in Louisiana, what they were calling a terrorist attack. That bothered me so bad. I just felt so bad. Like the next day, I just wanted to cry all day.
Yeah.
Just things like that, and just prayers to Louisiana. I know that was New Year's, and it's already the 8th, but I do want to say that.
It's weird that like 3 days later, they played the Sugar Bowl, at the Superdome, and people are taking video on Bourbon Street like nothing ever happened.
My dad was
That's kind of, what do? Do you focus on that? Or do you move on with your life? Like, what's the right answer?
But that's like what happens.
I know.
It's like some tragedy happens like that. And then it's like, the next day. And everybody just, it's almost like it's a part of life now.
Yeah, like a school shooting or a guy running down Bourbon Street going 100 miles an hour. And it's like, let's just move on. Let's be strong.
And then like all day, I just kept thinking about it.
I don't know what the answer is, though. I'm not trying to.
It was just all these like young kids. I think there was somebody that was in their 60s, I believe, because I looked, but it was just, it just made me just so sad. My dad, we were talking about it because my parents lived in Baton Rouge. My brother was born in Baton Rouge. And my dad was like, Jordan, can you imagine if that guy would have waited till that bowl, the football game? He goes, you know how many people go to that game
I know.
and people hanging out, or if he would have done it sooner. you know?
I think there's always people hanging around,
Yeah, but if he would have
the
done it when
French
it was
quarters
just
and stuff.
completely crowded, it's just I don't know, it's all sad. But I feel like I'm almost out of breath. I had to run to my kids' school real quick. I got back just in time right before we started recording. My kids think they're too cool to wear coats and winter hats and gloves. And I pack them in their book bag, and I guess they took them out and didn't take it. And now they're going outside for recess, and it's freezing.
Yeah. I hope I don't, like those kids in high school when it's like 20 below out and they
And they're
wear
wearing
shorts.
shorts.
I hope they're not those kids.
They will be.
No, I don't like those kids.
No.
Put on a pair of pants. What are you doing? You're not that hot. It's 20 below. You might
Okay.
have a couple extra pounds on me, but you're not warm by any means.
I'm going to sound old right now. Speaking of, because you said wearing like shorts, and this is so off topic. I was talking to my sister last night, and this was a couple months this happened. I'm at the grocery store, and the high school kids get to leave off campus to go to lunch. We never could do that at all. Like, you just packed your lunch or you got school lunch. You were never allowed to leave. And I am in King Super shopping, and these teenagers are in there. There is this girl, I'm not joking, wearing like big baggy sweatpants. They wear the Nike shoes or Uggs, and it looked like a bustier top, not a sports bra. It looked like a legit bra. And then they wear these big baggy cardigan
like
sweaters,
Sue Ellen Mishke style?
or these big baggy sweatshirts that swallow them, and just slop through the grocery store getting their stuff. And in my head, I'm like, you're probably, I was guessing, maybe 15, 16. You have a very nice body. There's older men in here shopping too. You might go to the gas station or something, and you look like you're wearing a bra and sweatpants, like you're changing to get ready for the day. And listen, I don't dress up that much. I'm very, very casual, but I don't walk around wearing a bustier. And I told my sister, I called her and I was telling her about it, and she goes, "Oh yeah, Jordan, that's like the style." She goes, "Remember when we wore spaghetti straps and we had to do the 2-finger rule at school? And if your spaghetti strap wasn't wider than 2 fingers, you had to change." Like, I remember wearing a tube top to school, and I wore a jean jacket all day. And I remember being hot because I grew up in North Carolina, and I couldn't take my jean jacket off because it was a tube top. Now you can wear like a sports bra to school. Like, how is that not distracting for young boys too, that are growing up and looking at boobs? And I
Oh,
mean, the girl
no.
had a beautiful body.
No, yeah, I
But-
get it. But even going back now when I was in school, you're right, like the 2-finger rule. But
Or
the
the-
girls wore like the crop tops, right? And like the low, remember like the low pants?
But their belly could show.
I don't know in school, but I know like that
You were
was the
not,
style back then.
They had to call your parents to come bring you clothes.
I remember you couldn't, some was like if you were too risque, like that would be way too risque, like for my school. And then the girls would have to put on their gym shirts.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Because then when you saw someone walking around with like jeans in their gym shirt,
You're
like,
like,
what did you wear this morning?
Yes.
Or like if you wore something like, I don't know, Beavis and Butthead, but something like stupid like
Yes.
that, like with the middle finger or something, then the guys would have to change. So there was, I went to a public school, but there was still rules that you couldn't do anything. But I think in today's day and age,
you wear whatever.
because the teachers have no power. They're like, you can't wear that. And like, oh, you're going to tell me what to wear? I'm a strong young woman. And like, they get in trouble.
You're 15
like, I don't know.
and you're growing boobs. And
But they should be able to.
people don't need to be looking at your boobs.
No, I'm with you. You don't want to attract that negative attention. Again, guys should be able to control themselves. I totally agree with that. But there are sexual predators out there and people that can't control themselves. I wouldn't let my daughter go out of the house like that.
No.
That's just me. I'm old school. I'd be like, you're not wearing that. And I think every generation kind of has that mentality. Like, you're not leaving the house like that. Then they do. And then we all seen the movies, they change and then they have the bra on
Yeah.
underneath and they wear whatever they want to the parties. But as a father, the school board shouldn't force that too, I believe. But we just gotten so crazy with people's rights. And it's my First Amendment. You don't even know what the First Amendment is. You just say that because you heard it on Instagram. You don't even know what's going on. It's my constitutional right. I'm just trying to help you out. I'm not trying to stifle your style or your voice or your sexuality. I'm just trying to help you out. I'm just trying to help
Yeah,
you
it's
avoid
like you
problems,
don't
man.
need I don't know. You need to like cover up a little bit because it's
No,
attracting the wrong
I'm with
things.
you. I'm with you.
But I mean, I called my friend too after that. She goes, "Yeah, the girls wear that now." I'm like,
We're old. Like I'm realizing I'm super old.
"Yeah, but maybe when I was in school, things that we could wear, my grandparents or parents were like, can't believe these young kids." But I was always more on the conservative. I never dressed I never dressed like that. I never was comfortable just walking around with my belly showing.
Well, think like even the 80s, right? Because spandex were big in the 80s. They always, even like the girls, didn't they wear like shorts over their spandex? Like even back then? Or no? They didn't go to school in like spandex outfits. Look at everything today. Like
Now it's like the biker
it's
shorts with the big sweatshirt over, like the
biker shorts.
spandex. I call them biker shorts. I can never wear them. I'm too fat for them.
I'm just talking about the form fitting like yoga. Everyone has like,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
and it's not big sweatshirts. Like everybody from moms to kids has the yoga pants on with their ass out. You know,
Yeah,
like not like it's a bad thing, but it's like I don't even know if that would have been allowed in my
back
school.
then.
Like you might have had to put on your gym shorts over that. You know, but now that fashion, I just saw something on TV. Like the major outlets like Louis Vuitton and things like that, they're kind of getting replaced by the Lululemons and the athletic brands more so than the high end. There's always going to be Louis Vuitton and high ends, but the fashion now, it was actually in Europe that it's all moving to like athleisure wear.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what a lot of the young kids ask. They want Lululemon.
I don't think that's so provocative, but just like if you're talking in terms of like, should you be able to wear that to school? Like that's really form fitting, you
I'd rather
know,
them wear yoga pants and athleisure wear
than
than
a bra.
than a bra and um I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. I sound old.
We're super old. I'm realizing that. Like I do a podcast with my old DBL crew. I'm super old and grumpy. And even now is like I'm just a dad. I'm not trying to stifle your amendments and rights and commandments. I'm just trying to help you out, buddy. Whether it's a guy or a girl or whatever your sexuality or color, I'm just trying to help you avoid problems. I'm a
Right.
little bit further on in life than you, and that's something a dad or an older person would say. I'm not trying to cause problems or stifle your style. I'm just trying to help you out, man. Stop taking it like
Well,
such an overreaction.
our kids like to dress kind of sloppy, like
And I get pissed about that.
leggings,
Sweatpants, like
shorts,
when we're going
sweatpants.
out, no.
And then Lawson, I'll be like, "You can't wear that today. I have all these nice things." He goes, You wear sweatpants." I'll go, "I don't wear sweatpants. I wear yoga pants, Lawson." And then he goes, "Yeah, but that looks like what I'm wearing." And I'm like,
In everyone's defense, young kids, when I was like in high school, I remember my senior year, I wore the exact same pair of black parachute pants and a white V-neck every single day.
"You wear a white V-neck to school?
A white V-neck every single day.
Why?"
Or a white t-shirt. I don't know, V-neck or whatever. Maybe I'm thinking V-neck because I used to wear white. I used to wear white V-necks. I used to wear white V-necks to work every day. But I wore a white t-shirt, whether it was a V-neck or a t-shirt, and black parachute pants every single day. I didn't change once. I just wore the same thing every single day.
Why?
I don't know. What's the point?
You love like dressing up though. I don't picture that at all.
I used to wake up 4 minutes before the bell started and I'd go get my buddy Tony Marty and I'd bring an orange and he'd peel my orange and I'd be like speeding. I drove my parents' van to work. I had a van and I'd drive to school and we'd run every day. We'd get there like right when the bell
You
started.
drove your parents' van?
Yeah.
What did your mom drive?
She had her car. So I took my dad's van to school and I'd pick up Tony on the way. And there was a couple times like we were so late, twice, not a couple, twice. We jumped out of the car and I left the keys in the ignition. It was running and I locked it. And back then, you left the keys in there. So I'd have to go to my homeroom teacher, who was my football coach, and be like, "Hey, coach, I left my keys in the car again." And I'd have to walk home and get the spare set. Yeah, I did that twice because I didn't care. I didn't care about like looking cool or being cool. I didn't care.
Well, I think how I dress now is how I dressed back then. My mom always took me shopping and bought me the nice things. But we had to be up at 7:15. School started at 7:15 in the morning. So I would get up at 5:45 in the morning, and I just didn't have time. If I showered that morning, I could get myself ready for school, and then my mom wouldn't get mad because she'd be like, "I buy you all these nice things and you just wear." I always wear jeans, New Balance, a t-shirt, and a sweatshirt. It's like
See,
that was
that's
like
kind of
my
the same
jam.
thing.
Yeah. I know this is boring,
Yeah.
but
All right. Let's take a break and get off this weird subject, and
okay.
we'll talk about something else when we come back.
Adulting is hard. I mean, nobody wants to pay your taxes, right? I'm just kidding. You always got your mortgage. You always have to figure out what's for dinner because you have kids. There's just a lot going on. I wish I was a kid.
Yeah.
Life
Well,
was much easier.
and you know what's hard as well? Finding a good doctor. As you guys all know, I'm going through some life changes, some job changes, and I recently had to pick up some new insurance. And the hardest part about that is finding a good doctor. It's kind of like finding a good mechanic. Zocdoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high quality in-network doctors so you choose the right one for your needs. All you do is click and instantly book that appointment. It's as simple as that. It's something we're going through right now as we speak.
We actually just went through that because I had a list of my doctors wrote down for Jeff. And I was like, I will not take this insurance if I cannot see my doctors.
Right. But if you don't have an insurance agent, Zocdoc is the perfect choice because you could instantly find out if your doctor is in network or not.
And you want something like this because a lot of doctors' offices these days, they want you to call the insurance and figure out if they're in network, and Zocdoc will let you know right away. We're talking about in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, eye care to skin care, and much more.
Plus, Zocdoc appointments happen fast, typically within 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even score same-day appointments.
I love same-day appointments because I'm so last minute all the time. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to Zocdoc.com/TogetherMess to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today.
That's ZOCDOC.com/togetherness, MESS. ZocDoc.com/togetherness. Oh, you got something on your mind?
Well, I did want to talk about, because you actually talked about this on, Jeff does another podcast with his DBL crew.
Right.
And about, because that's all I keep seeing on social media is Mark Zuckerberg. How...
Oh, joining Meta?
Yeah. And he's getting, I feel like, well, from what I've seen in the comments, it's kind of like a mixture, just like a lot of heat. And I wanted to kind of bring that up because for the past 4 years, they censored a lot of people.
Yeah.
And now I feel like those guys, the big guys like Mark Zuckerberg, are jumping on the train because Elon Musk was the first to make a move, right? And do the whole, what is it called? Twitch?
Twitter?
Yeah, but he switched it. Isn't it called
X?
X.
Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, like I don't mind talking about these things, you know what I mean? But we have to make sure we get our facts right. You know what I mean? Like we could give our opinion, but like we need to know all the facts.
Yeah,
you know,
but
that
I mean,
go
we're
into
not
it.
going deep
Yeah.
dive in it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
wanted to know because you talked about it last night
Yes.
with your DBL crew. What do you think about that with him jumping on
Well-
board now and then before just censoring everything?
Well, this is good. Somehow everything now is related to politics, you know, and it's going to have left-leaning point of views and right-leaning point of views. Elon Musk jumped in, and we were talking about this, like just to kind of piggyback what we were talking about. The show's called Daytime Talk After Dark. It's a different podcast we do every Tuesday and Friday with my old DBL crew. And so we talk more about politics on that show, and we get into it a little bit more. But like to give people a little background, I'm sure you already know, like Elon Musk bought Twitter and called it X. He should have just left it Twitter. But he like paid double the price because he didn't care about the money. He cared about the censorship, and he's all about free speech. And it's really weird how politics plays such a view on everything. And because, you know, if you go back a couple of years, he was a very liberal guy, clean energy, came out with the Tesla,
Yeah.
very much a hero to the Democratic Party's point of view, I would say. And again, I don't even know what I'm talking about either. I don't have all the facts. These are just my opinions and the way I view the situation. So take it with a grain of salt or do your own research or whatever it is. But that was the way the party looked at him back then. He's obviously come around to the Republican Party and very much a free speech kind of guy. Now, did he change so much or did the party itself change a lot? That's something I'm very confused with too, because if you go back even decades, like to JFK, would JFK be a Democrat back then? Or his point of views that I've seen are very much what you would call Republican point of views now.
Mhm.
You know, so has the party changed? Has the world changed? Has the viewpoint of what those things mean? That's why politics is very confusing and murky and gray to me, because we pigeonhole everybody as left or right when I have views that are very much left and very much right, which I call myself a centrist, but to people listening, I'm definitely a Republican in their eyes and a Trumper and all those other things. I don't like that when it comes to politics. But getting back onto social media, again, my point of view in the whole thing is that the media itself and social media were very much regulated by the left, by the Democratic Party. And that's just my point of view. Like if you listen to our Daytime Talk After Dark show, our other co-host, Tori's very much a very left-leaning person and grew up in DC. And she would say, no, that's not true. And if you watch The View, they would say, no, that's not true. To my point of view, it's very much true. I've been in Hollywood. I haven't been in any major movies or that deep into Hollywood, but it's very left-leaning from my point of view. I think the media is very much left-leaning from my point of view. I think social media censored a lot. And there was even Mark Zuckerberg had to go to Washington to talk about it. And he was asked, was the party kind of censoring or putting pressure on Facebook to take certain things down or leave certain things up? There was a lot of misinformation that was left or taken down, depending on your political point of view. So I just think what's happening now, and sorry, I'm talking so much. I'm trying to explain the whole situation from my eyes. And if you're listening, you might disagree fully with me, but this is how I see it from my eyes. Now, a lot of people from the right are jumping on board these social media platforms. One, I think podcasts have taken over media itself. I don't think anyone trusts CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. They lean too far towards their party, and you're not really getting the truth. You're getting a biased point of view instead of the truth. And
but I think that's great with podcasts that people can listen to, because people with podcasts are turning to them because that's all everybody wants. Let's just don't lean one side or the other. Just tell the facts, tell the truth, and let people decide their opinions.
I think that's
healthy. Exactly.
Yes.
Instead of being like labeling you because you're thinking one thing. Maybe you might have an opinion about something. You listen to a podcast and they're giving facts and it opens up your eyes.
Like I didn't see it that way.
Yeah.
Or you just see it from a straight point of view,
right,
without all the labels put on it, whether it's your sexuality, religion, skin color, ethnicity, whatever it is. Take all that out and just look at the situation itself. You know, like we need to go back to judging people for people without the bias included. And that's what's really hard, because I think every single one of us, me, you, we all have natural bias.
Yes.
It's all like where you grew up, how you grew up. If you had parents, both parents, one parent, your friend circle, just everything in life, in your age, every experience you had has contributed to the person that you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, unless you're extreme far left or far right racist. Nobody agrees with that.
Right.
Nobody is like, hey, that racist has a point of view. And that's where we're kind of going in like today's media. They're like, look at what this person said. That person's a flaming far left liberal, or that person's a far right racist. Those people contribute the smallest percentage to these conversations, yet we focus on them as like peer groups. We're like, oh, but look at what this person said. Man, that's such an extreme. Nobody talks like that. And that's what the media, I think, has been pushing. I think that's why Zuckerberg and those guys are trying to maybe just let free speech go a little bit, which in my mind is a good thing. You can't have crazy ideas out there, but if you're supporting free speech, you can't have it both ways. You
Right.
got to let those things slide.
I mean, I think things that need to be censored are stuff harmful for kids or teenagers to
Hate
see.
speech. Yeah, I'm
Things
down
like
with that. Yeah, I'm
that
down with
needs
but
to
then
be censored.
That's a slippery slope too, because what is considered hate speech? We all know racism is hate speech, but there might be some things in a gray area that they're like, why did you take that down? That's not hate speech. Right. So that's where the gray area comes in. Who's going to control all that?
Well,
or do you let all that go?
I just saw something on Instagram today. I actually sent it to you, and it was a news outlet, not here in the States. It was somewhere else. And this young kid, they were like, you might not want to have your kids in here. And when we tell this story, this kid fell in love with, it was almost like a catfish. He fell in love with someone, but it was an AI. It wasn't a real person. And this kid was going through something hard and was turning to this person. I just watched this today. It was on the news and it was on social media. It wasn't on the news. I didn't see it on the news. It was on social media. And somebody had posted.
Another thing I really don't trust for an outlet of factual information. But anyways, finish your story.
But the young teenager ended up committing suicide, and because
they found out it was
this AI, and the AI said, I guess was telling him, kill yourself so we can be together.
What?
And so he did that. I sent the clip to you today, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And I sent it to one of my friends who has a boy that is about to be a teenager and just got a phone. And I sent it to her because I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so heartbreaking.
First of all, I think you have to, I don't know if that story's true. So you have to take that with a grain of salt.
Well, I said I saw this on Instagram.
Yeah. So when you're talking about things like that, you really have to be careful about what's true and what's not true. So we haven't fact checked that. Again, we're just two people doing a podcast. We don't know if that's a true story. My questions that pop up right away is who's controlling that AI? What software is telling kids to kill themselves?
I don't even understand AI.
I don't know if that's true. We should be very careful about that story. I don't know if that's true or not, but obviously it's going around the internet because you saw it. I'm sure maybe other people saw it, but I would like to know if that's factual or not, because who made that software, right? For the AI, someone has to control that software. Again, I don't even know what I'm talking about when it comes to that, but I think someone does, right? So where does that software exist? Where is it home? Where does its home come from? So that seems like a terror attack to me. Like someone would make that kind of software to kind of infiltrate, us with our own hatred.
Well, I've been seeing other things that other people, actually a parent that I know, our kids are friends with them, and they had posted something they saw on the internet, and it was about YouTube and it telling these kids to do that, to commit suicide. And
there were actual people?
This person that I know posted, this is why I don't allow my kids to watch YouTube.
But I don't understand why, if that's a true story, don't you think we'd hear more about that? And don't you think that like every parent across the nation would know, hey, this kid, James Johnson on YouTube, whatever, I'm just making up a fake name, is telling people to kill themselves.
That's what I'm saying.
People have.
There's so much information out there.
But there's a lot of misinformation too.
Yeah, you don't know what's real, what's not. You keep seeing these stories and you're like, and then when somebody posts something like that news, if it was real, I don't know. I don't even understand AI. Apparently it's like looks real, but it's not real.
Well, it's artificial intelligence, yes. But like that, I get what you're saying. I don't know in this particular case if that's real, but yes, it certainly is a problem in the future when we're so close to perfecting AI and having Obama or President Trump come on and they're like, you know what? We're in a civil war, start rioting and things like that. But it's not them, it's AI. And a lot of people don't have the wherewithal to differentiate what's real and what's not. They just see something as a headline and they run with it. And I think that's a huge part of us in this country being so separate, because now people have these misconceived ideas of who everyone is based on their race, sexuality, religion, all of those things. They just put you in a box and they're like, that's who you are. And they've never met you, or this person has never met anybody outside their religion or sexuality or ethnicity. And they just have these preconceived ideas of what the world is. And then everyone shares their opinions on the internet. And that's not healthy. And we have no source of true information anymore. We have to use our brains and everyone, we're human. We're going to get it wrong. And we all have these preconceived biases, whether we like it or know it or not. And I think that's where the problem lies, just from my opinion.
Yeah, it's scary because I think about our kids because they love watching YouTube, and I'm like, wait, what did they see something bad today, or I don't know. I'm just like,
I don't think that's, again, we're going to take a quick break here, but you get flagged on YouTube if you play someone else's song. Like YouTube will pick that up. Don't you think YouTube would pick up like, hey, kid, why don't you go off yourself? Like, I don't want to, why don't you go kill yourself? You know what I mean? You don't think they would get flagged and that'd be national news that YouTubers are telling other kids to kill themselves? Don't you think that would get out?
I would think it would be, but who knows? But do they sex trafficking and stuff? Why isn't that all over the news? That's a whole nother subject, but I'm just saying, you don't see that all over the news, and that happens all the time. Kids getting trafficked.
That's true. That's true. All right, let's take a quick break. I like this conversation. Maybe we'll come back or talk about something else.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Switching gears.
Okay. You wanted to bring up
I know I do want to talk about
the never-ending controversy of Justin Baldoni.
Because that's all I see.
And what's her name?
Blake Lively.
I almost said Taylor Swift.
Okay, so Blake Lively. When I watched Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants a long time ago, I loved her. I thought she was so cute, and she always seemed like super sweet. And then when you were working at Daily Blast Live still, that is kind of when things started coming out saying that maybe she wasn't so nice. And there was an interview with her and a lady, and she was being very sweet, just asking her about her bump.
Some British lady.
Yeah. Who can't have kids.
Right.
And then she was like, how's your bump? And just kind of rude. And then you don't know, again, it's social media. There's little clips that you see now of her that come out, and it shows her she seems like a mean girl kind of. So I feel like I don't like her as much. But
that's the vibe that the internet's putting out, whether your algorithm is for her or against her. And again, we kind of had the same talk. I don't mean to talk about the exact same things we talked about on Daytime Talk After Dark yesterday, but we did bring up this subject briefly. We didn't mean to, but it's very funny how I met Justin Baldoni. This has no like, I'm not saying he's innocent or whatever. I'm just saying I met him maybe a decade ago. Right. There was this show, our friend, is called The Bob Show. I started off in LA doing kind of a little podcast back then, and he'd have some cool guests. And Justin Baldoni was one that frequent the show. So I got to meet him. He was very cool. He incorporated me and Bob into his wedding video.
Bob told me that video's going around. It's viral.
It's back. Well, it went viral at the time.
It did?
Yeah.
Why? What did he do?
It was like a surprise announcement.
Okay.
And we kind of helped out on the Bob Show a little bit. Anyways, I'm not saying he's right or wrong. He was very kind is what I'm saying when I met him. And he just seemed like a genuine guy, seemed like he really loved his wife. Again, this is my point of view. And if yesterday we had the discussion that now there's receipts that Blake Lively has that Justin Baldoni's like, I wish she'd kill herself, XYZ, all this other stuff. This is all alleged. I don't know what's true.
But you know what's funny
not
that
true
you
anymore.
Said that? I saw something on Instagram, which we don't know how true it is.
And I told your story yesterday, the other side. So go ahead.
This guy came out with receipts of things that he had on Justin's side, like Justin, her saying, yes, we can run lines while she is breastfeeding and it is okay. And he's showing receipts. And then this person, I feel like, is being unbiased because everybody's tiptoeing because a lot of people are just Team Blake, and we're just trying to see all sides.
And that kind of why we slipped into these same stories is because we're talking about social media and how it affects everything, and you don't know what's right or wrong.
Well, someone else I follow made really good points saying when and this person works with celebrities, and they were saying that when they're in Hollywood, whenever there's a big celebrity that walks in the room, it doesn't matter who it is, everybody just flocks to that person because they want attention from
Right.
that person.
Right.
And she is a much bigger name, and people are just will flock to her more so because who she is and how powerful she is. And nobody knew who this Justin guy was. I didn't know who he was. I didn't even know he was on Bob's show
Yeah.
until this happened. But what I was thinking is for him to get an attorney and to be like, no, I have receipts. And it's like, we want to take this to trial. Then I feel like he feels pretty confident in what he has on his
Yes.
side. And then there's people saying that Blake Lively kind of exaggerated, twisted some of the text a little bit, which I don't know. I haven't seen the text because, like I said, you're seeing on social media, there's Team Justin, Team Blake. A lot of people are Team Blake and bashing him. But from talking to someone that I know, they are like, he's a wonderful person. So I have no idea.
I met him a decade
And you
ago.
met him a decade ago.
I met him a couple times, and he was very sweet. Again, I can't justify whether he did or didn't do those things. My point of view, again, only my point of view, is he was, kind of struggling actor his whole career.
Yeah,
known,
like everybody.
Known a little bit, but struggling. This was his big directorial debut, right? And he got a big kind of name. Blake Lively's a bigger name, right? Maybe a B-list, high B kind of name. She's a power couple with Ryan Reynolds, of all that stuff. So
wait, you said Blake B-list?
You think she's A-list?
She was A-list because Ryan Reynolds, he's friends with Taylor Swift, all that
I'd say
stuff.
Ryan's A-list.
He's A-list,
all right,
but
I'll
she's
give her an
married
A. I'll
to
give
him.
her an A for the
Okay,
sake of
everybody
this
knew
conversation.
who she was.
Everyone knows he gets a big actress for this movie. It's his directorial debut. He got this actress, right? In my mind, I can't speak for what his mind is thinking, right? In my mind, why would you do anything to fuck that up? You're directing, you got a A-list celebrity on set. You think you're going to hit on her or try to do things the wrong way or don't have a sex coach to walk you through all this?
Wait.
You don't think you're going to check all these boxes when it's your time to shine after all this time struggling and pushing your way up and doing the Bob show? You know what I mean? Like, this is your time to shine. You're going to screw all that up with sexual allegations. Again, some people might not know they're doing it. I'm not making excuses for them. I'm just thinking in my own mind. I'd be walking on eggshells. If I was directing like Angelina Jolie, whoever your favorite actress is, I'd make sure all my T's were crossed, all my I's were dotted, right? And make sure everything was perfect. You didn't feel uncomfortable. I'd have your favorite food. Let's crush this thing. This is going to make my career. I wouldn't be like, hey, nice tits, or whatever. You know what I mean? You're not going to crack those jokes with someone that you're depending your livelihood on.
Right.
And again, it might come out that Justin Baldoni was completely wrong and he did all that stuff and I look like an idiot. I'm just saying from my own point of view, I don't know how you would screw all that up in one swoop.
Right. I think, speaking of that thing I saw on social media, the guy was saying that Justin shows proof that we need to get, what is it, the sex coach or whoever is in there.
That's a real thing.
And they said
now.
she didn't go to the meeting. That's what that person said on social media. So that's just what I saw because I try to see both sides. And it is, I guess, a known thing. When all those videos started coming out about Blake Lively, it is a known thing around LA that she is kind of a bitch.
Well, you get that reputation.
Hard
those
to
interviews.
work with, but people don't say it. But now it's all coming out. So I feel like all that's coming out. And she's like, Justin, you ruined my career. I'm destroying you. Kind of like that thing. Like people now think this way. And I think I think she is, to me now, I used to not think it, but I do kind of think she is kind of a mean girl. I don't like that comment that she said to that British woman,
No, I didn't
that
like that
reporter.
either.
That like made me so
But
mad.
you have bad days. I get it. I get you have bad days, and I don't know. I
But it
don't know what
seems
the
like she
answer
has
is.
more than one bad day. And then other people who work with celebrities, not that I know, maybe I don't know what to say that it's a kind of a known thing. I'll just say that.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's bad to say celebrity's got its own gossip, or Hollywood has its own gossip.
Yeah, I just
And
don't want
depending
to
on
put
who you
anybody
talk
out
to.
there. Yeah. I
No,
was
no, we aren't gonna say
texting
any
somebody
names.
the other day and I was like, I need to know. And then they gave me their opinion. And what their opinion was, and this person knows a lot of people. And I was like, that's exactly what I was thinking. So,
Yeah.
and this person is pretty level headed too. So I was like, all right, maybe it
Again,
is true.
we're leaning on
I don't know.
We've talked to people around Justin and around Blake. We haven't talked to them
I don't know. And
directly.
who knows? What if he is? What if it does come out? Then
Exactly. That's what I'm
people are
saying.
going to be like, told you.
No,
you know?
no. That's why I'm saying the internet really, we only have a limited amount of information, right? And depending what your algorithm is, or mine doesn't even show that stuff, but whatever your news source is, whether it's you or my old crew or our neighbor, who they never talk about Hollywood stuff. But it's like you have a limited source of information and then you have to judge based on that. So who knows who's right in this situation? Who knows who's wrong? But the one thing that is true, both of them will be forever tainted from this incident.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're Team Blake, right? And whether you're Team Justin and you see a Blake move, you're gonna be like, oh, that guy ruined this guy's career.
That's all I think
or
about.
Or vice versa.
But I kind of want to watch now. What is it called? Not This Is Us. What's that? What's the movie? It's on Netflix. I kind of want to watch it now.
That
their
he directed,
movie.
yeah, their movie.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch it just because of like the drama with them, because I want to see what she's talking about. Because she said he did do extra kisses that she didn't want. So that's why there's just a lot of things. And I don't know.
Extra kisses. So as an act, see, that's.
She said he did like extra kisses, like things that she didn't want. But again, who knows what's true? And it'll come out. The truth will come out. If they go to court and they get a jury, the truth will come out. Because I feel like people automatically are just like Blake. Because when I first saw that, I'm like, what a scumbag. And I was totally Team Blake.
All right. We got it.
You know,
you're holding up your Starbucks cup. You're like, oh. You're getting very opinionated.
I'm getting very into it.
Yeah,
okay.
You are. All right, let's wrap this up. We went a little long today. No, not a break. We're done. We went a little long today.
I want to keep talking.
You want to keep gossiping?
I want to keep talking.
Go
Let's
watch
do one
Gossip
Dear
Girls.
Krabby.
No, we're done. It's 40 minutes. Nobody's even listening anymore.
No.
We blabber on about Jake and Justin and or whatever, Blake and Justin, and nobody cares. All right.
That's our celebrity gossip.
Yes. All right. Well, listen, like I said, I hope everyone's all right out in California. You're listening to on Monday. So hopefully it's under control by now. But if that's all, I don't know what else to say. Thoughts and prayers.
Thank you for continuing to download, subscribe, tag your friends. Thank you all of you who sent me the kindest messages about like, keep going, love your podcast. Like it just like brightens my day. I was kind of having a bad day and I kept seeing like all those positive comments and it just made me feel so good. So thank you for sending those. I hope y'all have a wonderful week and that's it.
All right.
Bye.
See you next time. Bye.
Yay Media Group.